Good morning. Quietish evening yesterday, predominantly the Cup and some matches, 2.4 plus the favourite, very tough to call. But Bologna returning to 2+ goal scoring ways. Should we have really trusted them against 19th or 17th in the league? That was only real profit yesterday. Sparta Rotterdam. Didn't go match odds, as you can see, so very sparse profit to be had. They did get the equaliser, and I got out. It was the Cup. Watching a bit of it in smatterings, and Volendam at 1-1 did hit the bar, and they did get a late winner. That's the joy of the Cup. Not quite in keeping with Heerenveen's solid performance earlier on. Well, so much for Como parking the bus and AC Milan having trouble scoring recently. Well, not quite there, was it? But it seems to be a pattern with Como. You saw in a recent loss to Inter Milan, which was quite comprehensive, that they just fall foul of the big guns. I did lay over 0.5 goals in the hope of a 0-0 at half-time. And if we get a 0-0 at half-time, great. We can lay the draw second half. But it was an emphatic performance from AC Milan. But keep your liabilities low. This is tolerable for me. If we get that 0-0 at half-time, you've got a free lay of the draw. As long as it doesn't end in a score draw, you're going to make a nice profit. Well, I had it in the back of my mind that Union Berlin would equalise. They coming into this in far better form than Augsburg, but even down to 10 men, they got the late equaliser. I wouldn't have done that one. As you can see, Bologna returning to 2+ goal scoring ways, and maybe, just maybe, I should have preempted that, shouldn't I? Because Verona took the lead, and look where they are. Now, they're not there because they keep winning matches after scoring first, are they? So I should have really, like Winterthur the day before, bottom of the Swiss league, vulnerable. So a 1-0 lead for Verona should have been gettable, I think. But this was a very, very impressive win for AC Milan. It does put them bang smack in the title chase again. This was a must win. You take 3 points away, or 2 points away from that, and the gap between them and Inter Milan is getting bigger and bigger. Old Perry finding themselves in 6th place. Great season under Cesc Fabregas. He's probably going to be pinched by a bigger club at the end of the season. Copa del Rey, I didn't play. Should have played, really, but where's the value? That's the problem. Unless you go correct score, win. But the Racing Santander had the ball in the back of the net twice at 0-1 to Barcelona. So the value there would have been in laying Barca late on. But they were very, very impressive to watch, Barcelona. This was the big substitution, Fermin. And yet again, he turns up. Oh no, he got a yellow. But he got the assist. It just tends to be the case when they bring the subs on. And they brought the mighty Lewandowski on just to spoil Racing Santander's day. Rafinha, Lewandowski and Pedri coming on. Unbelievable, Jeff. And Lamine Yamal getting a late winner. It was a very good performance from Racing Santander. The Copa del Rey really does capture Spanish fans' hearts because it was a full stadium and the atmosphere superb. It's been very enjoyable to watch Real Betis and Real Sociedad the last couple of days, and Real Madrid's loss to Albacete. Despite me making a decent profit on it, it was nice to see Albacete get through. Much changed Barca. They've got weekend football and then the Champions League to come now. Well, let's take a look at today. It is officially my day off. I will be doing bits and bobs with my other business ideas, trying to get back all of my lost money after that. Stole it this time last year. Crypto's going up, which is nice to see, but I don't have quite the power I had last year. But let's take a look at today's trading angles. Well, we've got a couple of odds-on favourites in French League 1. Monaco currently at odds on. Well, not really deserving of that odds-on quote, to be honest with you, based on their recent form. But where are they? They're in 9th place. Look at this, 3 consecutive defeats, 4 defeats in 5 matches. It's all about context, though. Have they been meeting big names at the wrong time? Lorient finding themselves looking behind their shoulders a bit. They're 5 points above the relegation zone. An element of safety with a win and 2 draws required to get to them. So they have to be a little cautious. One of these two has 6 defeats in 7. One of these two is unbeaten in 6 matches with 4 draws. Can you guess which one? No, it's not the odds-on favourite. They're the one with 6 defeats in 7 matches. This is one of those matches where you've got that Lorient. If they hadn't been collecting points, they would be bang smack in that relegation zone, wouldn't they? It's that part of the season now. Monaco are going to be a little concerned because Lorient are starting to put together a head of steam. It's certainly very, very short odds for Monaco. Far too short for me to entertain pre-match, that's for sure. But the market might get it right. The in-play stats and the momentum graph will tell you if Monaco are up for this evening. What might be swinging the market is no win in 8 away for Lorient and a trouble scoring goals away from home for Lorient. So obviously their recent form has been collected at home. Paris Saint-Germain against Lille. Where are Lille in the league at this stage of the season? Let's take a look. Well, they're top 4. So it's a top 4 clash. Don't forget, even though it's a Friday, let's just get in our DeLorean and go forward a few days. Let's have a look. On Tuesday, Paris Saint-Germain are away at Sporting Lisbon in the Champions League. So that is going to impact even Friday. We're going to have to be very careful about looking at these sides in the Champions League, whether they're going to be affected today. But let's have a look at seasonal form. PSG are unbeaten in 8 at home with 4 consecutive wins, but Lille, not too shabby, 7 wins in 10 matches. No draw in 10, no draw in 7 away. So that could be the angle in today, a late lay of the draw. I could see Lille be very competitive today. I could see PSG possibly resting a player or 2. Have they been involved in the Mickey Mouse Super Cup in Saudi Arabia? I'm not too sure. I think they've gone off, haven't they, recently? So just be careful. Against Paris FC, they lost midweek, 0-1 in the Cup. So watch out. On a positive note, they shouldn't be collecting 2 consecutive defeats in all competitions. They're far too skinny, the odds, I think, for a top 4 clash for a side in Lille with 7 wins in 10 matches. Watch out for this. Now, you know as well as I do, 2.55 the favourite is an imponderable match, but it's Werder Bremen are chock full of goals. It's a bit like Union Berlin yesterday. I quite fancied Union Berlin on paper. Eintracht Frankfurt could simply outscore Werder Bremen. In matches like this, which I won't research because of the odds, I do an AII for members. So 12th against 7th. Bremen, full-blown injury crisis. So again, 2.55 for Frankfurt. Looks very good, doesn't it? Let's have a look. Frankfurt, chaotic 3-3 draw with Dortmund, but they're full of goals. They're one of those sides, Frankfurt, they've got 3 or 4 goals in them on their day. So conceded 3 goals in the last outing yet, but that's Dortmund. That's not Werder Bremen, is it? So draw no bet, Eintracht Frankfurt, which is effectively AI saying lay Werder Bremen, which I would agree with value-wise. Over 2.5 goals, certainly. With Frankfurt absolutely full of goals. Jonathan Burkhardt, 1+ shot on target. Now, you've got the shot on target stats if you want them at soccer24.com. When the match goes live, you'll have players' shot on target stats. So this looks a little bit of value for me for Werder Bremen, but there's always a reason behind these odds. Okay, it could be a head-to-head, it could be a bogey team for Frankfurt, but that 2+ goal habit. Look at their recent matches, and I think you'll agree with me that this goal threat cannot be discounted. You go here to H2H. You click on the team, click on the match, go to H2H, and you can have a look at Eintracht Frankfurt's away matches in isolation, or you can have a look at them season long like this. But look at that, 2 goals here, 3 goals here. So when they ignite, they ignite, but then they turn up like this against Hamburg, and they turn up with a single goal against Augsburg. And then they had a whole raft of failing to score or having trouble scoring that second goal. So which one turns up today? This lot, 4-goal heroes, 3-goal heroes, 2-goal heroes. Or the side who's just gone through a bit of a sticky patch prior to that in the Champions League. But this could be the reason. Don't forget, they are involved in the Champions League as well. So that, again, could tell us why the market is the way it is. Could be a Wednesday match for them. I don't see Eintracht Frankfurt there. There they are. They're away at Karabakh. So now you know. Remember, we had this with Leverkusen a few matches ago against Augsburg. Why on earth were they 2.1 Leverkusen against such a poor side like Augsburg? Now we know why. Pre-Champions League. Okay, you've seen the potential struggles they have pre-Champions League, Frankfurt. That could occur today. But on the recent matches, 5 goals in 2 matches, will Werder Bremen really score 3 themselves? I don't think so. Could be a little bit of value, this, but do be careful. It's pre-Champions League for them, pre-Champions League for Paris Saint-Germain. Pisa and Atalanta. Well, I did it with Como yesterday, and I'm going to do it with Pisa, because Pisa at home, so many 0-0s at half-time. You've got to lay over 0.5 goals. The odds are going to be very short indeed, and it's going to be well worth your while. If it's 0-0 at half-time, you've got to free lay the draw with Atalanta highly likely to score. But then again, we have the potential banana skin of a match with Atletico Bilbao in the Champions League on Wednesday. Well, they're playing Friday, Champions League on Wednesday. So realistically, this should not be impacting, but it does. We only find out in play whether there's what I call the curse of the Champions League will turn up. But this is one of those matches away from home against a side who will find it very, very easy to get a load of 0-0s. Pisa have failed to score at home against the top 10, placed 7th today. Atalanta are on a run of wins and a run of clean sheets as well. So that, it could arguably be a 0-0 at half-time. And then the big stat, Pisa have conceded 8 of the 10 goals at home in the second half. So lay over 0.5 goals. It's going to be very short odds. And if you can get to 0-0 at half-time, you've got to free lay the draw. The only way that lay the draw will lose is if it ends a score draw. Espanyol have only lost to the top 6 at home. They should be a tough nut to crack. But this is yet another one of those matches where Girona are putting together a mini winning sequence. And where are Girona? They are comfortable enough, but, well, only 4 points above the relegation zone. So a win would be extremely useful. It could get them near, unbelievably, near to the top 6 berth. So vital for them today. Espanyol are in electric form at the moment. They're thoroughly deserving their top 5 berth. And with a win today, they could take themselves near to a Europa League place. But be careful. 3 wins in 4, 2 consecutive away wins for Girona. Obviously collecting points at this stage. But Espanyol, as I say, a very, very tough nut to crack. Only the top 6 tend to beat them at home. Just working my way through Soccer 24 because I didn't log in just for matches in other leagues. So you click on that pin button there and these matches will go to the top of Soccer 24. So there's quite a few peripheral leagues this evening. And I might pop on for members, even though it's my day off. I am in a money-making phase at the moment in the new year with all that happened to me last year. So this is a great way to make money for me, trading the football and working off Betfair. It's been very good to me so far since the 1st of January. Saudi Arabian Professional League, I would follow that as well because it's got so many star players. Rangers and Annan, well, that tells you everything. But we'll have a quick look at these ones after I've collected them. And the Turkish One League, not really interested in that. So let's have a look at the peripheral leagues. Club Brugge and Louviere. Louviere newly promoted. Club Brugge have had 5 goals in them in recent matches. If you want to have a quick look, Club Brugge are up here. Plenty of motivation to go top as well with a win today. Louviere are in the relegation zone, as you'd expect of a newly promoted side. but they're picking up a draw here or there. The thing for you to look at with Club Brugge is the impact of goals, particularly second half goals for them. Real goal fests. Yes, they're not interested in the cup, fair enough, but a couple of goals there. That was a friendly though. So they're coming off the back of a winter break as well. Just be very cautious there. 5 goals there, 5 goals there. So watch out. The Louviere, not doing too well, are they? You can look at their away form in isolation. And it doesn't read too well, does it? They beat Beerschot in the cup. They have been competitive, it must be said. But just either drawing or not winning. Certainly a match of interest for me. And I think I will be trading this evening. West Brom and Middlesbrough. Well, 2.7 the favourite tells you everything you need to know about this. Middlesbrough coming off the back of a return to goal scoring ways. I keep hitting the wrong button. H2H is where you want to have a quick look. They have had real trouble scoring of late. But now, look at this. Failed to score, failed to score, failed to score. We noted this, didn't we? Failed to score in 4 consecutive matches. That could cost them automatic promotion, couldn't it? 4 goals against Southampton all of a sudden. Great stuff. And not expected to do much against Fulham, Premier League side. But that's that 4 goals against Southampton. Is that something for us to pin our hopes on today? West Brom, bit hit and miss. Wins coming in the FA Cup and against QPR and Sheffield United, which again, that's a good result. Sheffield United have 2 or 3 goals in the locker, but picking up far too many defeats as well. You can have a look at West Brom at home. 3 wins in 4. So that's why it's 2.5 the favourite. Middlesbrough away, 3 consecutive defeats. But it's that 3-goal haul against Southampton, which could see them back on a front foot tonight. So keep an eye on the in-play stats for that one. HJK Helsinki, just to mention them, they're one of our summer leagues. So keep an eye on the Finnish football. They will serve us well over the summer, along with the tennis, when the major leagues are absent. French League 2. Sides I like to follow, Saint-Etienne and Estactoire. Don't seem to be playing today. Have a quick look at the standings. Could give you an indicator of which of these sides are worth looking at today. Anything at the top playing? Well, Dunkirk, just outside. Motivation for them today. At odds on at home. Get a win today, they'll go top 5. And we're getting nearer and nearer to April, aren't we? So we've got to be so careful that they pick up points. Amiens are away at Annecy. Amiens just above the relegation zone. Boulogne, Montpellier, mid-table mediocrity for them. But Bologna, with a win, could get themselves out of the relegation zone as well. But they are at home, but they're not favoured. It's a tough old coupon, isn't it? Le Mans, 5th place. So Le Mans and Dunkirk battling it for that final place. Le Mans away from home, 2.45 the favourite. So tough coupon in French League 2. In-play stats will be important. Bundesliga 2. Again, tough market, 2.4, 2.45 the favourite. The market hasn't got a clue. That's what it's telling you. So do bear that in mind if you're going to be trading this competition. If the professionals can't give you an angle, then take the hint. Dusseldorf, though, desperate need for a win. It's very tight to get out. It's very tight at the bottom as well. Look at this, all the way up to 11th place for the relegation zone. Dusseldorf with a win could really sort themselves out, that's for sure. Arminia Bielefeld just above the relegation zone. So this is relegation 6-pointer, I would say. So watch out for that one. Sampdoria and Entella. Let's have a look at Samp. They should be in SerieA, a side as big as Samp. Remember, David Platt used to play for them. I would have expected them to be up here, but no. They're in the relegation zone. Awful stuff from Sampdoria. What a fall from grace. So they're odds on at home. 3 points could do them the world of good. Eredivisie, tend to see goals in that one, that's for sure. And Sporting Lisbon, only 1 loss all season. So make sure you subscribe to youtube.com/@FootballTradingProfits. It's my day off today, members, but I'm going to be popping on Telegram for you later on because I'm going to be doing a bit of trading. Have a great day.